As you can see, I'm in the process of refurbing our bathroom, which involves tiling, and in truth I'm not very good at tiling. I've only done it once before and I wasn't very good at it then, but in an attempt to save money I decided to have a go. I thought I could need all the help I'm going to get, so I started to look at the tile levelling systems, and I came across one which is classed as a reusable tiling system, and it's these things. I bought them off eBay, cost about £14, for which you get 50, and for people who've never seen it, I'll try and explain how it works. So what happens is, this handle here has a pin with a T-piece on the end, and this nut is on a screw thread. So how it works in effect is that you put it down between the two newly set tiles, you twist it so that the T-piece is underneath the two tiles, and then you screw down the black nut which pulls the tiles together, and in theory levels them, and it does work. How did I find it? Well, first of all, as I've said, I'm not a tiler. I've never ever used a tile levelling system, so I don't know how good they are, but there's a number of problems with this particular system. First of all, the tiles that I use, as you can see, are 12 by 12, and I don't think this system is really designed to try and pull 12 by 12 tiles level. What you do is you put this into the wet adhesive, obviously tighten up, and pull the tiles in theory level. What happens is then you give it some time for the adhesive to start setting, and you have to time it fairly well, because what happens is, if the tile adhesive is too wet, then obviously it hasn't dried. The tile can still move if you remove it, and if it's dried and it's too hard, then this happens. Basically it snaps that T off and leaves it underneath the tiles, which isn't a big detriment, but it means obviously this is now scrap and can no longer be used. And as you can see, this happened on quite a few occasions. Not the product's fault, that's my fault, but it's very easy to forget about it, and when you're using rapidset, you forget just how quickly this stuff can go off. As long as it's within an hour or two, but if you forget and you carry on and you go and do something else, you come back and then you try and undo it to get it out, it snaps it off. The other thing that happens is that if the tiles are well bedded and are big tiles, then instead of it pulling level, what tends to happen is it bends the T. I don't know if you can see that. I'll show you against a new one. So what happens is that instead of it pulling up the tiles, it actually bends the T-piece at an angle. So you think you've got it level, but in fact you haven't. Things still lipped, and I found I've got quite a few lips on these tiles. Again, I don't think that's the product's fault, that's my fault, but it's very difficult when you've got a 12 by 12 tile and you're trying to level it in all planes. Then by the time you've finished, it's not quite level. You think, oh, I'll put it level with this thing. When you put them in and tighten it up, instead of it pulling everything, the two tiles up level, and it actually pulls one up and the other one is still lipped, which I found, to be honest, on quite a few of these. So again, my fault, no doubt, but I'm not massively impressed with them. The other thing as well is that you've got to have at least that depth of adhesive, and because the walls are slightly unlevel, what you tend to have sometimes is a thin smear this end and a lot of tile adhesive the other end. So when you come to try and get this in, you can't actually get it underneath the tile. So it's a product that, you know, I've never seen before. In fairness, I think on smaller tiles with possibly normal cement, on smaller tiles with normal adhesive, it might well work okay. On these bigger tiles, not so much. And it allows you to put a lot of force on it. I don't necessarily think that's a particularly good thing, but I didn't use it. I didn't use this tool, I just did it by hand. And it did work, I think, on a lot of occasions, but there's also a number of occasions when it didn't. I think it's something people who know a lot more about tiling and have used other levelling systems will go into in greater depth, but this is just a first view of it, so see what you think.